Joining me now is Christian Anderson from the Christchurch City Council. Another air supply fan, Christian? Or?
Oh, from a long way back,
yeah,
absolutely.
You can't help but love it, can you?
Oh, it's great.
You're going to be singing that song for the rest of the day. Now, Christian, we're here to talk about the big news, the 2 new bus lanes that have opened around Christchurch, which is great news, isn't it?
It's fantastic news. Yeah, we're really excited after the Papanui route to be opening a couple of new ones.
Yeah,
so it's great.
So let's talk about where exactly they are. Colombo Street first.
Colombo Street starts at Cashmere Road and will ultimately run all the way down to Morehouse Ave. This particular route that we're opening now is to Tennyson Street, and then we'll open up to Brougham Street, and then the last section through Sydenham Shops to Morehouse Ave.
So that's really going to help that traffic along that kind of stretch of road, isn't it?
It'll make a huge difference through there. Yeah, we've seen some wonderful changes to the reliability in Papanui, and it's just going to improve on that down Colombo Street as well, so it'll be really good.
Okay, so right from Cashmere at the moment to Tennyson, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, and where's the other one? Queen's Park, is that right?
Queen's Park bus route, yep. So those that get that bus will know it very well.
Yes.
But it basically runs down Hills Road from Beeley Ave down to Bassett Street. So that's another major route for us in the city, and those are the 3 really strategic ones that we've hit off first. There's a number of other ones that will be opening up in the future, but that's the key ones at the moment.
Okay, so what does that mean with the bus lane? What does it mean? What are and aren't we allowed to do?
Well, the key thing with the bus lanes is to get the buses moving more reliably during those peak hours, and we've identified the peak hours from 7 till 9 in the morning. So that's for coming into town, and then going away from town from 3 till 6 in the afternoon. There are some exceptions to that where the buses run past schools. That time changes in the afternoon till 4 o'clock, so between 4 and 6. Yep. And then also when we go through the Sydenham Shops, that'll be from 4 till 6 as well. But all of those are clearly signposted, so we've got signs all the way down the route that say when they're in operation and when they're not. And when the new routes are opening, we've got some big flashing lights as well to let people know what's happening there.
Just to help us.
Just to reinforce it, yeah.
So when we're not during those time frames, we're okay to drive on them?
Not to drive on them, no, but you can park in them.
Okay.
So where the lanes sort of go into a turning lane, you can drive on that section, but usually they will revert back to parking when they're not being used as bus lanes.
Okay.
So cyclists can still use them as the exception to that, I guess.
But we can't. So what does that mean for us? I guess we have to be just extra vigilant now and just to stay out of them.
That's right, and we've found with the Papanui route that people are getting much better. When we first started off, there were a number of people that were getting pinged, I guess, for driving in the bus lanes. But that's improved dramatically, and the parking's improved dramatically. Particularly in the morning, it seems to be very good compliance then. The afternoon, I think people maybe forget about it a little bit more, but it's just to be vigilant really around those times. The parking is the main thing for us really, but there seems to be a bit of confusion around how far you can drive in the bus lanes. And when you're making a turn, we recognise that you need to pull into and make that turn, and we've allowed 50 metres in order for people to do that. So it just stops people from running up the inside lane, which can be very dangerous for cyclists particularly,
yes, exactly.
But also for other motorists as well.
So what happens if we've parked there and we've run into that time, but there's still cars parked there and the bus can't get in the bus lane? What happens?
Well, that car would actually be towed,
okay.
So they'll be ticketed for parking in the bus lane. There's a fine of $60 for that, but then they'll be towed to the nearest side street, basically to get them out of the lane, so it can be freed up for the buses.
Use it again.
If there's a car there and we haven't had a chance to tow it, then the buses will merge back into the main traffic lane, get around it, and then carry on. Okay. But it does just slow things down quite a bit.
Yes, dramatically, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So at the moment with our 2 new bus lanes, there's a slight amnesty while we kind of get used to that, but after May the 7th, no more.
That's right. So we'll be starting to fine people from that point on.
Okay.
Yep.
So they can get fined for parking there when they're not allowed to be, and also for even being in that lane if they're driving.
That's right.
Okay.
So the fine for driving in the bus lane is $150. And we've got council enforcement officers with a little camera out there to take your photo, and they'll send you a little notice to say.
You get a nice wee reminder in the mail.
That's right. That's right.
So tell us, Christian, about what's happening in the future with other bus lanes around the city. How are they moving forward?
Well, we've got 10 lanes that have been identified in total. There's a number of ones that are currently in the planning stage, and we're just working through the funding options for those. So these bus lanes have been created in conjunction with the New Zealand Transport Authority, and they provide a significant portion of the funding for the lanes. And we're just negotiating with them at the moment to get that funding finalised, and then we can carry on with those.
Great, so we'll hopefully see many more around us.
It's the idea.
That's the idea.
Yep.
Okay, so Christian, let's just run the basics through again. When can and can't we be driving and parking in these bus lanes?
Okay, so during the hours of operation, so it's from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. in the mornings when you're heading into town, and from 3 till 6 when you're heading out of town. The exceptions are outside of schools, which is 4 till 6, and around the Sydenham shops between Brougham and Morehouse, which will be 4 to 6 as well.
Okay.
And the signs are out, so it's clearly signposted, and you see lots of green paint on the road that tells you where the lanes are.
Fantastic. And remember, you will get fined, so just do be aware of that. Christian, thank you very much. It's good to kind of get some clarity on that, and good to hear about those new bus lanes that are opening, and we hope they continue to work well.